Hello students, welcome to Dr. Deepa Dake's NEET Biology, and for class 12th we continue with the chapter 1 reproduction in organism, and in today's session we mainly discuss about the gamete transfer as well as fertilization. So already in last session we completed about the gametogenesis, how does the gamete formation is take place when the parent body is haploid and diploid, and once the gametogenesis is completed and gametes are formed, after that the second pre-fertilization event is take place, that is the gamete transfer. So now begins with the gamete transfer. अगेन सेकेंडली कहूंगी कहीं आपको डाउट्स आ रहे हैं, कुछ भी आ रहे हैं, सो आप डाउट्स वो पूछ सकते हैं फ्रीली. नाउ व्हेन वी स्टडी अबाउट द गैमेट ट्रांसफर, so here normally when we study gamete transfer, so transfer of male gamete towards female gamete, we study this part, you remember first. Secondly, gamete transfer is take place in external fertilization as well as in internal fertilization. When we study the phenomena of gamete transfer, so in lower groups means in algae and in bryophyta, प्लेंटी किंगडम के लिए बेसिकली हम स्टडी कर रहे हैं ये पार्ट. सो इन एल्गी एंड ब्रायोफाइटा water essentially required for the transfer of male gamete. Male gamete in case of motile, male gamete in algae and bryophyta are called as enterozoid, and for their transfer in algae, bryophyta as well as in pteridophyta too, water is essentially required, and this is the reason one question is asked that the why bryophyta and pteridophyta are limited in distribution was most important question for board exams. So this you remember, the bryophyta and pteridophyta are limited in distribution because they depend for the transfer of male gamete on water. So whenever water is present, they are show the male gamete transfer, and that's why these bryophyta and pteridophyta only growing in those area where nearby water is available. So यहाँ पे here you remember the bryophyta, algae itself present in water, and pteridophyta are limited in distribution. Now why they are limited in distribution? Because the process of gamete transfer is dependent on water. This part you remember. When we come towards the higher plants, so in higher plants you remember, in higher plants predominantly in angiosperm, gymnosperm and angiosperm we study mainly. So in angiosperms you remember, flowering plant angiosperm is, in angiosperm the process of pollination is mainly take place. So pollination is responsible for process of gamete transfer. Here also male gametes are transferred, and a male gamete of the angiosperms are non-motile, and these non-motile gametes towards the female gamete carried with the help of pollen tube, so that we study in our next chapter, second chapter. So this much you remember for the gamete transfer, and once the gametes are transferred, after that you remember, once the process of gamete transfer is completed, then the second phase of sexual reproduction is begins. That process is called as fertilization. So now here we discuss about the fertilization. From gamete transfer, this statement you remember, again I told the statement you remember very well for your objective as well as for your board exam. Now the fertilization we study, the another term we use for the fertilization, that we use syngamy. So syngamy is a synonymous term which is used for fertilization. You all are knowing what is fertilization. The fertilization is simply the fusion of nuclei of male and female gamete, or simply we say when the fusion of male and female gametes take place, that process is called as fertilization. But originally their nuclei are fused, both the gametes are haploid, and when gametes haploid gametes are undergoes in fertilization. So fertilization, you always remember, fertilization results in diploid zygote. So the process of zygote formation or diploid zygote, you remember, is formed by the process of fertilization. All the sexually reproducing organisms show the process of fertilization, as well as they show the unique phenomena of a zygote formation. Zygotes are always, you remember, the zygotes are always diploid in nature. Now when we study about fertilization, so in some of the animal in nature you observe the spatial phenomena is take place where the fertilization is not involved. That spatial phenomena, you remember, when you study about a fertilization, so one another phenomena is there, that is called as parthenogenesis. Now what is parthenogenesis? When you study about parthenogenesis, so here you remember the direct development of egg into an embryo or into a new individual without fertilization. That means the egg cell never undergoes in fertilization, and without fertilization egg develop into an embryo, and from embryo the new adult or new individual is produces. So this process is called as parthenogenesis. The term parthenogenesis we used in case of organisms, and the term parthenocarpy in case of plant. So in plant, parthenocarpic fruits or parthenocarpy we study again in second chapter. Here you remember parthenogenesis. So development of embryo or embryo development, you remember, embryo develop from the egg here. So embryo development without fertilization, this process is called as parthenogenesis. Now when the processes take place without fertilization, so developing individual, whatever parthenogenetic individuals are developed, so this you remember, individuals कैसे होंगे? Individuals are haploid. So this part you again remember. Due to parthenogenesis, the new individuals are produced, and these individuals are haploid because this is an example for direct development. Now where we observe the parthenogenesis, ये भी एक question है, where you observe parthenogenesis. So parthenogenesis predominantly, you remember, the example when we study for parthenogenesis, so example of parthenogenesis mainly we study in honeybees, rotifers, turkey, example for bird, as well as few lizards. So these you remember, these are the common examples for the parthenogenetic individuals. From board exam, one of the most important question is asked from these example, that why in turkey bird and few lizards only females are present. So for that you remember, for that question you simply mention the answer, because of the process of parthenogenesis in turkey bird and in few lizards only female individuals are present. So this much you remember for the process of parthenogenesis. Now we come towards the types of fertilization. So when we study about the types of fertilization, here different is asked. What is the difference between internal and external fertilization? So two types of fertilization we mainly study. First type is internal fertilization. The first type, as stated in NCERT. First type is external fertilization and second is called internal fertilization. Now the name as indicate, external fertilization means the fertilization which it take place outside the body or which take place in external environment or external habitat. That fertilization is called external. Internal fertilization, the fertilization which take place inside the body. Now whose body, male or female? So egg is always present inside the female. Conceptually ये part सभी को clear है. So internal fertilization is always be take place inside the body of female. So here first thing you remember, external fertilization means the fertilization is outside body but in external environment or external habitat, whereas the internal is take place inside the body of female parent. Second, you remember external fertilization. What is the external environment or external medium? Water habitat. Whenever external fertilization is take place, external fertilization predominantly take place in aquatic animals. Frog is a one common example. Fishes also you observe. So external habitat and fertilization always be take place in water habitat, whereas internal may be take place in water or all the possible habitat. So here you remember, in all possible habitat the process of internal fertilization is take place. This part you remember. The risk यहाँ पे आपका क्या है? In external fertilization, what is the key feature of external fertilization? So synchrony in release of male, synchrony in release of gamete. That means the male and female gametes should be released at the same time, then only the external fertilization is take place. Here the synchrony is required in maturation of gamete. At what time the gametes should be mature. So this part you remember. Next you study in external and internal fertilization in terms of different to secure the process of fertilization to increase the chance of fertilization. In external fertilization, large number of gametes are produced. So large number of gametes are produced, whereas you remember internal fertilization. In internal fertilization, the limited number or restricted number of gametes are produced. Generally, male gametes are produced in large number as compared to female. The female gametes in internal fertilization are produced in very restricted number. Sometime only a single ovum or single egg is produced in the maternal body. So this part you remember in internal fertilization. Now the chance of fertilization and the chance of survival of the progeny. So one again example is they provided there in frogs and some fishes. There is a lack percentage or there is a very less percentage of survival of progeny, and to maintain this a very large number of gametes are produced. So to ensure the survival of progeny, to ensure the process of fertilization, a large number of gametes to be produced in frog. This part you remember. Secondly, in external fertilization, parental care is absent, and because of parental care, the progenies जो individual develop होंगे after fertilization, they are vulnerable to predators, means they are exposed to the predators because the parental care is completely absent. So here generally you remember parental care absent, whereas in internal fertilization the embryo is developed inside the body of maternal body or mother's body, or in oviparous the egg is produced in a safe environment and the parental care is present as you observe in birds and reptiles. So because of the parental care, the survival chance is 100%. So here simply you remember the parental care is present in case of internal fertilization. In angiosperm, in gymnosperms, fertilization in plant, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperm, angiosperm, whenever you study. So in plant you remember fertilization is predominantly take place internal. Only in case of algae, the fertilization may be external or internal. In angiosperm, the paragraph आपका 14 and 15 पेज नंबर पे आपको ये पार्ट मिलेगा एनसीईआरटी में. So one paragraph is provided for internal fertilization, and the last line of that paragraph is more important, that the in angiosperm non-motile gametes. So the in angiosperm in next chapter we study, in angiosperm gametes are non-motile because pollen grain upon germination produces two non-motile gamete inside the pollen tube, and these two non-motile gametes reaches towards the egg or towards the embryo sac with the help of pollen tube. So this much you remember for the external fertilization and internal fertilization. Okay, so in today's session we mainly small topics I discuss. So in today's session we mainly study about the gamete transfer as well as about the process of fertilization. In gamete transfer, now we come towards the important questions for your board exam 2021 में जो देंगे class 12th के students. So for board purpose if you go through these topics, तो आपको prepare mainly क्या करना है कि why the bryo and pteridophyta are limited in distribution. So simply you remember because that for the transfer of, for the fertilization, male gamete transfer is only take place in presence of water, और आप लिख सकते हैं for the transfer of male gamete the dependent on water. Secondly, when you come towards the fertilization, so parthenogenesis, example of parthenogenesis. पार्थेनोजेनेसिस से लास्ट ईयर डायरेक्ट डेफिनेशन के फॉर्म में नीट में क्वेश्चन आ चुका है. सो डेफिनेशन यू ऑल्सो वेरी वेल प्रिपेयर्ड, एंड दीज एग्जाम्पल्स यू रिमेम्बर. हनीबी का एग्जाम्पल आपको चैप्टर में स्टडी करना है इन चैप्टर 5. हाउ द सेक्स डिटर्मिनेशन टेक प्लेस इन हनीबीज, दैट टाइम ऑल्सो दिस टॉपिक इज क्वाइट क्लियर. But in turkey and lizards, you remember only females are there. So why? So answer is because of parthenogenesis. And when you come towards the types of fertilization, so this question you prepare as it is, that what are the major differences between the external and internal fertilization. Secondly, for 2 marks question, question is asked from the external fertilization. That question is कि why the progenies are vulnerable to the predators. So in which fertilization and why? So external fertilization, progenies are vulnerable to predators, and why? So that we already discussed. So this much you remember for the today's session. Okay, in next session we study about the post fertilization event, and in post fertilization event में आप याद रखिएगा, post fertilization event means we study the development of zygote and development of embryo. Secondly, separately we study post fertilization changes in animals as well as in plant. So kindly stay connected with Dr. Deepa Dake's NEET Biology. जो students आज new आए हैं, they kindly subscribe the channel, and by the new session, stay motivated, stay blessed.